después de la lesión de Kayori Yoshika. Y van por tierra. Cuidado, doblando la esquina. Gibbs hasta el touchdown. Respuesta de los Lions. Y se mete hasta las quedadas.
You never know what you're going to get when you jump into the stands. We'll talk about that a little later. Welcome in, everybody, to the Huddle podcast. I am MJ Acosta-Ruiz, along with primo hermano, Will.
Hey.
Hey, Will. Happy Trico-Tri.
Happy Trico-Tri. It's funny.
Halloween.
Every time I hear Trico-Tri, I think of my grandmother saying that or my mom saying that. There's just something about not being able to finish it and spelling it Tricotri, I believe is how it would be the correct spelling.
There was a viral video of this Dominican mom putting a sign on her door that said, "No Trico-Tri, no Halloween."
Yes, I saw that.
We ain't got no candy. Get out of here. Hilarious. I was like, is that my auntie? Is that one of my tias? It might be. By the way, what are the kids gonna be for Halloween?
So my son decided to be Swagga Claus. So he literally is dressed like Santa Claus. He's got the chains. He's got the rings. He's got this silver briefcase with a $sign on it. He's wearing his sunglasses and a black bucket hat. He had been talking about this for weeks. So this was his particular idea. And then my daughter is Spider Girl. And at their school parade, she didn't want to wear the actual mask for the Spider Girl over eyes because she was saying it was too hot.
It's also 80 degrees in LA.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So she said, "No, I'm not about that." And she was like, "Nah, it's uncomfortable." So either way, that's what they're going to be. So it's going to be a long night, but it's going to be a fun night and one that they've been looking forward to. I know you have been looking forward to it. You, and in particular, our gal Joy, who's massive into Halloween and what it means and all the outfits.
Yeah, bestie Joy Taylor, pretty much the only reason I get into Halloween at all. She, of course, goes all out. If you haven't seen it, go to her Instagram. Her Halloween party on Saturday was one for the books. I dressed up as Cruella DeVille.
Look
and
good.
I brought the dog. I brought Gunny with me, of course. Not a live action.
Was he scared? Was he like just skittish about being around people or no?
Let me explain something to you. He is, if this doesn't solidify that he is a Latino child, a Latino dog. My boy took a whole nap in the middle of the party. And if you know, you know.
Yes,
you find the room. And when I grew up in New York, you found the room with all the coats, all the purses, and there was random children just laying down sleeping. Loud music, didn't matter, in the middle of the party.
And the coats are like little mangers.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know, Jesucristo, you feel like, right?
Yes, all the time. And it was like every weekend. But yes, Gunny was a trooper. He was the star of the show outside of Joy, of course, because her Medusa costume was everything. But so my Halloween thing is, what do I have in my closet that can work as a costume?
So you cobble it together that way.
Effort. Yes. Okay. So I had that like half black, half white blazer. My husband spotted a wig at like a little costume shop. And we were like, wait a minute. This is perfect. This works. So Cruella DeVille came together literally hours before the party. Tonight, a whole collective of us are going to be the Spice Girls. And I am, of course, Scary Spice. My costume is en route as we speak. So pray for me, y'all. I hope it gets here on time so that I don't let down the whole group. But I have to have something.
You've got the hair ready, right?
Yes.
That's
there
awesome.
Has to be something in my house that I can put together. Like there are items here that will work for this. That's my whole thing. Are you dressing up with the kids, by the way?
I am not going to be dressing up as
Come on.
I'm not. There's a party that we are invited to. It's more for the kids, but I may have to dress up. And if that's the case, then I can cobble together a costume like Clark Kent. That's one I can do.
I
was that as a kid. Yeah. So I think that's an easy one. Random but true. I interviewed Sporty Spice a million years ago.
You interviewed Mel B?
Yes. It was pretty cool because she was very down to earth. And I remember she was playing in concert in San Francisco. She also had a new album of some kind out and interviewed her on the tour bus. Couldn't have been nicer. So random little factoid about your primo hermano. Yeah.
I love that. I love that for you. There have been some scary moments throughout the NFL this week. another keep you on the edge of your seat type of slate of games, especially on Sunday. And then, of course, today, the trade deadline. Nothing
Yeah.
scarier than not knowing where you're going to end up or what's going to happen or what moves your team is going to make.
Yeah, we were anticipating this, who was going to move, who was going to stay, how real were the rumors. This is the time where you have to be really careful about taking a tweet on X, whatever you want to call
Whatever
it,
it's called.
as being real, because there's a lot of fake
Yeah.
accounts out there with a lot of things being thrown out
Yep.
there. But
Yep.
there have been some major moves, and one of them happens between the 49ers and the Commanders. And this was massive because it helps out the 49ers in a big way. And the Commanders get draft capital back. The 49ers now get Nick Bosa's Ohio State teammate
Yup.
in Chase Young. And the 49ers give up a third-round pick, which is a great deal, I believe, for both teams. What was your initial reaction to this move?
Just yesterday, I was on KMBR radio over up in the Bay Area.
Yeah, 680.
Yes, I love those guys. Talking about what's going on, right? I told everyone collectively, let's just take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Yes, they've lost 3 in a row. Nobody, throw out the flags. I know that there's implications later on for the 1 seed, all of that stuff. Let's focus on the now, right? Because I still think this is one of the strongest teams, one of the scariest teams, certainly in the league. And if your team is going to have a skid, better to have it now than late in the season as you're pushing towards the postseason. Thankfully, also for the 49ers, not only has their quarterback been banged up, and it showed on the field because it's not the Brock Purdy that we've been accustomed to, but it's also a Brock Purdy that's still a young quarterback in this league. He's only had like a dozen starts in this league. He was going to have that come to earth moment. And again, better to have it now. As far as their defense, even though we saw Eric Armstead get to Joe Burrow and we've seen Nick Bosa getting pressures, the stats aren't coming up there. And I get it. We expect high level of execution from this defense. One of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the league. And they have not been playing to that level. But Shanahan said it best after the game. I think they need to sit through this bye week and get angry and be upset at themselves at how they've been playing. And now, we knew Lynch was going to do a little something. They bring in young Chase Young, who we really haven't seen to that full form since his rookie season.
Yeah.
I think this is great for both of them. I think Chase fits perfectly with what they're doing in San Francisco. And I think right now, for whatever reason, the Niners needed that little jolt. I would be scared if you're facing them after this bye.
Yeah, really scary. They also have Randy Gregory as well. So they're trying to get guys in the mix. Their defense has left a lot to be desired. Part of it has to do with the fact they have a new defensive coordinator who's had to come in Steve Wilkes, and hasn't necessarily been able to bring his own schemes, kind of has to work with the philosophy that's in place there. There's certainly an adjustment, but I think people want the adjustment to go a little bit more smoother. And now the discussion becomes, does he stay upstairs or does he go down onto the field? We'll see if they make some adjustments there, but I do think Chase Young is a massive move for them. I would think that they would try to maybe get a cornerback as well, because part of the problem is they haven't been able to get the pressure that they've gotten in weeks and games and years past. So as a result, it leaves the secondary very vulnerable, as we saw against the Bengals. So I think their Siestecita, one of 4 teams on a Siestecita, I think is definitely going to help them out. I think in the division, the Seahawks got a lot better. And a first-place team, right? They make a major move. I thought up to this point, as of this recording, I thought the Leonard Williams move was the biggest one that we saw, because I think that only helps out the Seahawks, who are in first place. They've got a good young defense. They've got Devon Witherspoon. They've got Tariq Woolen. They've got Bobby Wagner's leadership there. They gritted out a performance against the Browns. And now looking ahead, they're going to have a big game against the Ravens. And the Ravens rejuvenated. They found their offensive mojo, although it wasn't as great as they would have liked it in week 8. But that is going to be a great game. And Leonard Williams, I think, only helps out. 40 sacks. This guy will make a difference. And I think he's going to fit in easily and seamlessly into that defense.
That's the trade deadline. That was the spooky figure that was looming over everybody, and it's here. And we've seen some big things. We saw Montez Sweat to the Bears as well, and Josh Dobbs to the Vikings. All right. You guys chew on that along with your Snickers and hopefully not your candy corn. Don't be gross. Don't eat that. Stop it.
Why? This again? Candy corn's a seasonal thing. It's like candy canes.
No, it is a garnish at best.
Okay, that's fine.
It's not edible. It's not edible. All right. On the other side of the break, we do have a guest coming up, Will.
A good one at that. We are talking with former running back, but he wants to be current running back, Adrian Peterson. He also just starred on Dancing with the Stars. We'll talk to him about his desire to continue playing, if that's plausible, and what he thought about being voted off on Dancing with the Stars. That's coming up on the El Huddle with me and my prima hermana.
Recordando este momento histórico Pepsi aquí en Monday Night.
Muchísimas gracias, John. Un partidazo y aquí se escapa y a toda máquina va AP. AP con la quinta marcha. Nadie lo va a atrapar. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
A los 75 años, Adrian Peterson demuestra que todavía puede meter quinta velocidad y dejar atrás a los defensivos.
AP, I don't know how much Spanish you know, but they threw a little shade.
Saying you were 65 years old, still getting it done. And that was on Monday Night Football for Washington. What was going through your mind when you heard this call in Spanish?
I think I remember what the 36-year-old Adrian Peterson, something like that.
Yeah.
Takes it the distance. But
tripping.
I was just like, you know what? Let me get there. Let me get to the end zone.
Period. And that's all. We're so excited to have you here. And we've been hearing rumblings that you are looking at a comeback to the NFL. So we want to hear it directly from you. What's going on right now, and what are you thinking? What's the process been like so far?
Yeah, so I just been kind of laying back and working out, enjoying my family, and in hopes to get a call. I know playoffs time is starting to come around, so it's that prime time for guys to be like, you know what, hey, let's bring on a veteran guy that can come in and be productive, or that can come in and help out with these young guys as well. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Adrian, what gives you the belief that you have what it takes to still compete at a very high level right now?
When I sit back and watch the game, from various teams, I'm like, man, I could be way more productive than this guy or that guy. And not only that, just my mindset and the ability that I know I still have. I know I still possess the ability to play on the NFL level at a high level at that. So, with that, I know I can get in to an NFL game, several games and be productive and help a team, be able to move the chains.
We see so much and we talk so much about the evolution of the game, but especially when we talk about the running back position, right? Because you see the newer guys now are almost hybrids, right? They want a pass catching guy out of the backfield, but they want someone who's really physical. I mean, look at the Christian McCaffreys, the Raheem Mosterts, who's a track star. When you look at the game and the evolution, not just from your time on the field, but what you see now from this next generation of running backs, how do you see that evolution going?
Yeah, I see it's moving, right along the lines as you said. You're getting more guys that are more versatile, more of like that Reggie Bush, style type back. And you really instill, Marshall Faulk, it was just back in the day, it was just a few guys that were like that. Now you're starting to see it's so many guys out there that's being more versatile, that are using in the run game and being able to spread guys out. As well. And, I love it. But the one thing that stays true is you need a guy that's going to put his nose, put his head down and put his nose up in there. And a guy that I like is McCaffrey. He does a really good job doing that. Not only is he versatile, you can throw the ball to him, get him out on the screen, line him out wide. He's also coming downhill and he's hitting that hole extremely hard. So that he's been impressing me with the way he's been playing. I've been really impressed.
What team makes the most sense for you, or maybe the team that you want to play for?
what team makes the most sense? Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. Casual.
Yeah.
Casual.
Okay, Philadelphia. Why?
You know, they've always been that gritty, that team that's like, it's just rough, you know, offensively, defensively. They're grindy, you know, they're grimy in a sense as far as their play, right? A hard-nosed team. So I've always had like a lot of respect for them. And you know, they don't get me wrong, Swift, he's doing a great job down there, and they got some good backs down there, but sometimes you need that bell cow that can just you know, just really soften up the defense, you know. So I feel like me being brought into that situation could be beneficial as well to loosen up things for those other, you know, those other backs as well. You know, I grew up a Cowboys fan, you know, so you know, always, you know, being here in Texas is something has been an ideal of my playing for the Cowboys. And you know, worst case scenario. Well, I'm not gonna say worst case scenario because you know, the one thing that I've enjoyed is being home. You know, so being here in Texas playing for the Texans, you know, that wouldn't be
interesting.
Yeah.
All right, we got three. We got 3.
Yeah, well,
right
Adrian, but if you heard Jerry Jones say, we really want to bring you to the Cowboys, Adrian, we think you'd be a great fit, what would be your reaction?
Hey, Jerry, I'm on the way, man.
I'm dead. You set him up perfectly. Any excuse to do that Jerry Jones impression, we love it, Will. It's too good. All right, so you said you've been obviously working out, staying in shape. No better workout than dancing. AP, you don't know this, but my dream in life is to be on Dancing with the Stars. So I'm going to live vicariously through you.
She could do it, though, Adrian. She could do it. She's a legit
I feel
dancer.
like I could. And Britt, your partner, is one of like my favorite pros on there. Talk to me about the experience, how they approached you, and what it was like actually being on the show.
Yeah, it was an incredible experience, man. Like once in a lifetime type experience. I didn't really know what to expect going into it. And I knew it was going to be difficult. That's one thing I knew for sure. Yeah. Because it was something totally different outside my realm, something I had never done before outside of dancing around the house. And, you know, in college, you dancing a little bit, but it's a totally different dance, you know, totally different dance than the Viennese waltz and the quick step, you know, like that's
the Dougie, not quite the same as like
exactly, you know. So
yeah.
So actually they came to me like years ago when I was with the Vikings, and I was scared. I was like, I don't want to do that. You know, I'm not.
It's
and
hard.
then I had the excuse because I was playing football, right? But now, you know, I'm just like, man, you know, they came back and circled back around. They was like, hey, if you're interested, you know, we would love to have you on. And for me, I'm just like, man, this can help get my juices flowing, you know, and my competitive juices as well. So I embraced it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone and I'm gonna do something different. And but Britt Stewart, man, when I tell you, she is an incredible dancer and an awesome teacher. She did a great job, you know, working with me. Now, the first week I felt like for me, it was the most difficult performance because I had flips and I had lifts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was so nervous on like, I got to make sure I execute. I don't drop it, you know.
No dropping the pro, please.
Yeah, but after that, that's when it really, really got hard because now you perform on Tuesday live, right? And then I'm flying back to Houston on Wednesday, and we have rehearsals. And then I fly back out to LA on Sunday, and I got to perform again on Tuesday. So it was just like, bam! Now I got I got to learn Mazumba in 4 or 5 days. I got to learn the quick step in 4 or 5 days. Like the Viennese waltz, I got to learn this really, really fast, this entire routine. And with Britt, she and I this is what I love about her. She you'll watch it and you'll see some couples out there, you'll be like, the pro dancer pretty much just dance around the celebrity. Britt, she wasn't about that. And that's what I loved about her. She wanted me to be engaged. She really wanted me to learn and perform what they were asking of us. So our routines were really difficult.
Yeah. It looked it.
Well, the whole training looks like it's grueling. How did it compare to, say, the gruffest, hardest
Training
coach
camp.
that you played for?
It's kind of hard comparing it to, say, for instance, a New Orleans training camp. We got that in New Orleans, and it's hot and it's brutal. But as far as like mental, it was the hardest thing I've done.
Really? Mentally,
really
the
was.
hardest thing?
Yeah, seriously.
Wow.
Like, because like mentally, you have to be in tune, you have to be locked in, and then you're learning an entire routine. And not only that, you have to be precise. At football, when I lined up, if it was the inside zone, the outside zone, or I'm reading the blitz, I can take a false step and bam, make up for it and get back to where I needed to be. Or, I can get through that A gap. I can press the A gap and jump backside because it's open, And dance, there's no false steps. One false step and the routine is really sabotage. And you can kind of catch back up, but it's something when you got professionals and you got judges that are looking at those things, like they notice that and they'll score you off that. So just really being, technique sound, fundamentally sound, and like having the capability to remember everything, and be precise and bam, move, and now you got to extend that hand to get the length and that they're looking for. It was so detailed. It was really, really difficult, but it was fun. And each week, I just kind of kept embracing it, and it surprised me because I'm just like, wow, like I'm really doing it. Like I've really learned these dances, and it was fun. It was a great experience. Great experience.
My little dancer heart is so happy right now to hear you say that. I'm like, yes, finally some respect for the dance community. I love it. But you join there's been over 24 NFL players who have done the show, including Vernon Davis, Donald Driver, Doug Flutie, Michael Irvin, Rashad Jennings, Calvin Johnson, Keyshawn Johnson, Jacoby Jones, Ray Lewis. Von Miller, Josh Norman, T.O., Jerry Rice, and the list goes on and on. Jason Taylor, our own buddy, Kurt Warner, DeMarcus Ware. It is just like, and several have won. 3 of them have won. Emmitt Smith and Hines Ward. So it's just, there is such a sort of an overlap here with you guys. For some reason, NFL guys do really, really well on Dancing with the Stars. But do you think that running backs in particular make the best dancers?
Without a doubt. Well, I think, Mr. Emmitt Smith, kind of stamped that for us, because watching some of his videos, wow, he was really, really smooth and like did really, really good with his performance. The Vietnamese waltz, when he did that, the Vietnamese waltz, his performance to that was amazing. I think he did the salsa as well. He just really performed really well. Obviously he won, so he did an incredible job. But don't get me wrong, there's been other guys that have performed really well. Some of the receivers. Also, but I feel like the running backs, we're just so agile, and normally we are the most competitive guys on the field, right? The most toughest, we're tougher than everyone. We just got that grit about us because of the position that we play. We're able to be well coached. We're able to take coaching, and bam, and show up on the ballroom floor in this case, and just make those adjustments. And when it's time to shine, then you get out there, you perform well.
Adrian, before we let you go, rapid fire questions, because obviously your nickname is All Day. So you tell us all day or no way. I'll throw out a topic and you tell me what you think. All right. Okay. First topic: all day, no way. Candy corn.
All day.
All day. See, there you go, MJ. There you go.
Killing me with the candy corn.
Okay, all day, no way. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
All day.
Oh, okay. So you're a fan. I like it. Oh, all right. Liking it so far. Okay. The Gritty. All day, no way.
All day for the culture.
Oh! Yeah. Are they still doing it? The kids love it. The kids love it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I love these takes. These are all in. Tex-Mex. All day, no way.
No way.
Really? Yeah. Why?
I love authentic.
I knew he was going to say that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Learn something about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Finally, the Barbie movie. All day, no way.
No way.
End of podcast.
Why?
Some way. I'll say that. Some way because of my daughters.
Right.
Okay. All right.
No Mojo Dojo Casa houses
No.
around here. If you
All
know,
right.
you know.
Well, a lot of all days there. Hey, Adrian, this has been a terrific experience. Enjoyed talking to you. Please come back and visit us again. Good luck moving forward. We hope you get the call. If it doesn't, boy, you've had an incredible, decorated career on the football field, which I think leads you right to Canton, Ohio. So, Adrian Peterson, thank you so much for joining us here on the El Huddle podcast.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Se fue a entrenar a Mississippi State con Brian Egan. Y hoy la historia la ven aquí. Daron Bland va a tener su tercer Big Six de la temporada. Regalo prenavideño de Matthew Stafford. Y los Cowboys vuelven a pegar a través del trabajo de su defensa.
How about that? That's how it sounded between the Cowboys and the Rams. Complete and total domination there. And this leads us now to the best part of the program, at least one of them, I think, in my opinion. That would be Perro Macho. Let's go, because we just saw DeRon Bland and what he has done. Siempre Perro Macho. And DeRon Bland, I think he's an easy one for me. Do you realize, MJ, he leads the league in pick sixes with 3.
Nice.
He has 4 interceptions. This is exactly what this defense needed, especially with Diggs being out for the year. And they looked like a Cowboys team that could reach their potential if they have their offense and their defense clicking. So I think that is a massive one. Also massive to consider, the Cowboys and Bland, they're going to be tested by the Eagles and A.J. Brown, who has just gone off and completely bonkers. So that's going to be a fun divisional matchup that we're going to see. So my guy, DeRon Bland, he's one of the Perro Machos. Another Perro Macho mine is pass rusher Trey Hendrickson of the Bengals, wreaking absolute havoc at Levi Stadium, constantly putting pressure on Brock Purdy. And even when he was out of the game with an ankle injury, he was still making his presence felt. And this is a Bengals team that started off the season really slow, like we've seen in previous seasons, only to come back, reassert themselves. The defense and the offense looks fantastic. And now the Bengals are going to be facing the Bills. So Trey Hendrickson is likely going to be in the face of Josh Allen a lot.
Those are perfect. Those are perfect. And I love what's coming next, right? Because that's the true test of if what we see when we name these guys Perro Macho is real, if they can keep it going, because you got to have
the dog in them.
Exactly that. That. All right. For me, and I'm very happy because I found some good plantains here in LA. Well, they weren't good. They were okay, but we made it work.
You got high standards.
But I do. My Platano Power.
Platano Power.
You did a lot better job than I did with the opening of it. I totally just went over it.
But you gave me a heads up to what was coming, so I was able to brace for it.
Of course. And you're a professional anyway.
You walked so I could run. My Platano Power is Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, are you kidding me?
That's great.
26 rushes, 152 yards and a tug. Also, 5 receptions for 37 yards, was getting it done both on the ground and in the air for the Lions. Beautiful. My favorite part, of course, was how we started the episode with him jumping into the stands. Sir, calm down. You don't know what's going to happen when you get in there. Okay. You don't.
I love the woman that pulled him up. I mean, she's got some serious muscles, some serious strength to do that.
The best thing is after the whole celebration is over, leg up and all, you could see he takes a pause and he's like, does anybody help me down? Where's the offensive line? Where are the big guys here?
Yeah, there was a little bit of that fear.
There was a little bit of the, excuse me, help someone. He was up there for like a beat too long. Just like a little, I didn't think he was going to go over the railing and into, but I get it. The atmosphere was crazy in Detroit. as it should have been. Incredible game for him, incredible game for the fans, and this team this season. My God, have they been fun to watch?
They've been
Have
very
they
fun to
been
watch.
fun to watch? We
Mm-hmm.
saw emotional Dan Campbell once again in little clips throughout the thing. The whole team really should deserve a Platano Power, but Gibbs for sure was fantastic.
I love it. He was fantastic. And this team now 6-2, one of the top teams in the NFL. And it doesn't matter who's toting the rock there in Detroit, whether it's David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs, they're going to chew up some yards and lots of them. So now comes the point in the show where we put a little bow on the El Huddle podcast, and that means y punto. And since we're at this point, and since I guess I'm gabbing at the moment, I'll start with this y punto. Hey, we got a game in Germany, and a very entertaining one on tap between the Chiefs and the Dolphins. The Chiefs offense looked lost. It seemed like they were out of sync, and the Broncos, give them credit, that defense clamped down, and Patrick Mahomes just couldn't get anything going, and there was a lot of mistakes on their part.
Yeah.
And now they're going to go to Frankfurt, Germany to face a Dolphins team that now has Jalen Ramsey healthy, who got an interception, which I think means that this defense could be rounding into form, and it should be an entertaining game on the weekend. So that's my y punto, a great game from Frankfurt, Germany.
Yeah, I'm going to say right along those lines because I'm headed later this week to that very game.
Oh, nice.
I am excited. I am nervous. All the things, all of the emotions. But I think that you're right. Let's not forget that Patrick Mahomes did have the flu. I think people were expecting like a Michael Jordan flu game from him. And that's not quite the same.
Right.
When you have to play football and getting tackled and all of that stuff. But I think the only thing that, if you're a Dolphins fan, what could concern you is that now they're like, dang, we lost to the Broncos, which is a team who hasn't been getting anything going against anybody. And now we got to go up against the Dolphins internationally. It is a home game, quote unquote, home game for the Chiefs in Frankfurt. So they're going to try to get right, and not just get right with a quote, like, you know, people would think an easy game. This is a top contender in the league, in the conference, by the way. But I'm excited for my Finns, man. I really
should.
am.
You
I
should.
really, really am. But you can't help but be nervous when you're going up against the defending champs.
Yeah.
Right. So trying to stay even keel. I'm excited to see some of my Finns fam over there. I know we're doing a fan event on Saturday ahead of the game. Joe Rose, Dolphins legend, and now superstar in South Florida radio will be there. He and I will be hanging out. Our good friends from the network, Steve Smith Sr. and Kimmy Chex, will be in Frankfurt as well. So it's going to be awesome. We're going to have a good time. And next week, I'll either need heavy encouragement and love from you guys.
Yeah, always, prima hermana.
Or it's a party on the podcast.
All of those things. Happy for you. Can't wait to hear how it's going the next time that we do check in. But for us right now, it's been a hell of a program. Still think candy corns are fine.
Gross.
No problems with them. I wouldn't have them all year, but at least during Halloween, if I see a tray, I'll pick up a few of them, eat them, pop them in my mouth.
No, lose on the tray.
No,
Will, stop
Why?
it. Oh my God.
Because of the cooties factor?
All of it. It's, first of all, they're gross. Second of all, now you got a bunch of people who have touched them. I told you it's a garnish. It's not meant for you to ingest.
All right, whatever. Prima hermana, we have to agree to disagree, but
no judgment. I'm just trying to look out for you and your health.
I appreciate that very much. And, you know, we appreciate our audience wherever you are. Thank you for listening to the El Huddle podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and download. We'd love to hear from you. And many thanks to Adrian Peterson for being on the program as well. Prima hermana, safe travels to you.
Thank you.
As always, te amo, adios. It's always been real.
See you guys on the other side.